Hey YouTube, I'm back with another Lowman guide. This one is for anyone looking to 2-man Argos before the raid gets vaulted, along with the rest of activities in November. Callus and Argos are both great Lowmans to start off with, as they both offer something simple yet challenging. So let's get right into it. I'll start like I usually do with my Lodo recommendations. To maximize your damage output against Argos, you'll want to run Anarchy paired with the updated Elysium sniper. The great thing about this now is that both are fairly easy to get. You can farm Scourge of the Past to get Anarchy, and the Elysium sniper drops from the Exodus Umbral engrams. The best perk combo you can get on the weapon is 4 times the charm and high impact reserves, but you can also get triple tap in the first slot in case you can't get the god roll right away. Another sniper you can use is the Supremacy from Last Wish. The perk combos aren't quite as good, with the best thing being triple tap, but it does do 5% more damage than its energy counterpart, since it's a kinetic weapon. You should also use a perk that increases magazine capacity if you have it, such as Tactical, Appended, or Extended Mag. Other snipers also work well here for the 2-man, like Tranquility or Long Shadow, but don't quite boast the same DPS. Moving on to the classes, you can do the 2-man with any combination, although running 2 Arc Starters probably isn't the greatest choice. I'd recommend going with a Bubble Titan with Helm of Sane 14 and a Celestial Nighthawk Hunter, or a Well of Radiance Warlock. It's unknown as to when or if this raid will ever come back, but currently you can use Oppressive Darkness for any Void Grenades as a debuff, so I'd highly recommend a Bubble Titan use Magnetic Grenades to debuff the boss. Since this is an activity on the Leviathan, you have the freedom to use any of the Levy mods. Striking Hand is the only one of the bunch that is necessary to use for this, but Power Overwhelming, Energized, and Giving Hand are some other good mods you can use. Striking Hand provides a 20% damage increase, which also happens to increase the cranium damage. As a result, you can break 2 orbs with 1 cranium, while normally you could only do 1 without the buff. Oh, and if you're using Nighthawk, then use Emperor's Blaze for 25% more damage on your golden gun. Just a little tidbit, if you are looking to get these mods, then the best place to do it is in Heroic Menagerie. Now, the mechanics of the 2-man are really simple, but before you start the fight, you should probably take out Argos' cannons. The easiest way to break them is to jump up and into the shield and then shoot an Anarchy shot onto the cannon. Be careful jumping though, because you can fall and die if you don't time your jumps well. 1 shot from Anarchy will break it. The encounter is all about the craniums. Pre-damage, you're going to be charging them for whichever element you need and then getting set up for the damage phase. I'd suggest having 1 player go around charging the craniums while the other stays at the damage side and just slays out. You can also have both players go charge, which is the way I do it. You just won't have anyone clearing ads, which isn't really a big deal, but sometimes clearing ads can be nice. You'll have plenty of time before needing to go grab the charged craniums, regardless of strategy though. If you're having an anchor to clear the enemies, then focus on the Harpies and any Minotaurs that come up. Just remember to leave at least 1 enemy alive to get the Striking Hand before shooting the orbs. When your craniums have charged, you can head over to go grab them and then go to the damage side. Now that you brought over the craniums, you can break Argos' shield, and this is where you'll use Striking Hand. 1 player needs to get the Striking Hand buff to do 2 orbs, so figure out who's doing it and then start the sequence, ideally starting with the player who has the buff. Quick tip, if you weaken the goblin first, you can 1-hit it with your melee, so typically I'll just break its head to where it has 2/3 of its health, and then 1 punch will kill the goblin. If it's a rainbow setup or all 1 element, then you don't need to get Striking Hand, but you'll have to time the breaks so that they all happen within a short period of time. Or in the case of all 1 element, team shotting the last one. Striking Hand is only really needed if you're breaking 2 of the same color, since you won't have enough energy to do the 2 orbs with only 1 cranium. Technically, Striking Hand is never needed, but it's so much easier with it that I highly recommend doing it with Striking Hand. To put out the most damage, shoot 2 Anarchy shots on top of Argos and then 1 around the lower section of him. This way you'll have 2 connected shots and 1 disconnected, ticking him for damage. Then swap to your sniper and start unloading. With Bubble, you can strafe left and right to keep your damage buff while also dodging the entrapment he shoots out at you. After either 1 or 2 mags of sniper shots, put another 3 anarchy shots on top of Argos, and then keep sniping until the phase ends. Breaking the weak points is as straightforward as it can be. Just pick out 2 and then start sniping them. Ideally 2 that are somewhat together, so like the back or the right side or the arms or the top, you know, any assortment. If you find you're running out of ammo before breaking the weak points, then you can swap your heavy to whisper. You'll lose a bit of heavy ammo, but whisper is really strong at breaking the points, only requiring 3 whispered shots to break. But I've always just used my regular sniper for the spots. After popping the weak spots, you can reset, kill some ads for ammo, and then get ready to repeat. Go to where the craniums spawn and then plant what you need for the next wave. You have 4 total phases to kill Argos, and they all play out the same way, so if you have a scuffed damage phase in there, you're fine. With solid damage output, you can 3-phase fairly easily. I won't go into it in this video as it's not required and just further complicates the encounter, but if you'd like to learn how to double break, I'll be covering that in my solo Argos guide that I'm working on. I'm just waiting to get the kill before editing it. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Argos is a great starting point for low manning, so I hope it goes well for you and maybe you try out some other ones after. If you're experiencing low mans, then this one should be quite simple. I hope the guide was helpful and thanks for watching.